I've proved the practicality of the sleepover cab that I put on the top of my light trade truck at a number of race meetings where I've stayed overnight, and it's worked well. I've been distracted from finishing the interior because of repairs that I had to do to my race car after a crash. But now that's all done, I can get back to finishing the fit out of my sleepover cab. So far, I deliberately haven't bolted in place the sheet of timber that my mattress sits on in the sleepover, because it's going to be much easier to take that sheet and the mattress out so that I can stand in the back to do the fit out. Now that's what I've got to do first, get that mattress and that sheet of timber out. I've got my bunk out of the truck and I've slid the fridge freezer on its rack right out of the way, so my work area is clear now, so I can get in there easily. And the first thing that I need to do before I fit cupboards and things like that is I want to insulate this sleeper cab, because it's just fiberglass on top, and although it's weatherproof, it's certainly not cold proof. So I'm going to use this insulation. It's used in the building industry. I've used it in my house and in my shed. It's foil on one side, it's got rubber down the middle, and on the back it's got adhesive sheet, so you just peel it off and stick it in place. So I'm going to completely cover the inside of the sleepover fiberglass cab roof extension with this material, and after that's done, then I can start manufacturing and fitting the cupboards and shelving that I want to put in place. basics of the two cupboards that are going in the top of my sleepover cab are put together, and I need to move on next to the doors. I've decided not to use hinge doors because there's not a lot of room up in there, and I think they'd be awkward. Instead, I'm going to go with sliding doors. I could make my sliding doors out of tin, plywood, thin MDF, but one of the advantages in making plastic race car windows is that you end up with a lot of this stuff, Lexan, scraps of this stuff lying around, and this is what I'm going to use. It's 200 times stronger than glass, so it'll certainly be okay in a crash, and being clear means that I can just look up at my cupboards and see where everything is, and I can also do a really quick stock take before I go away on a trip, and just have a glance up and see what I might need to stock up on. I'm going to hold my sliding doors in place with these aluminium strips. They're just a square U shape, and I'll put two of these in, screw them in place. To stop packets of food sliding forward and jamming the sliding doors, I'll be putting this 90-degree plastic edging along the edges of the shelves, and that'll have a lip that'll stick up, and that'll just keep them clear from fouling the sliding doors. The other thing I'm doing is I'm putting in these into a couple of the shelves. They'll hold tins. I got this idea from Boaties. They do that, so the tins just sit in there, and the plywood cutout helps hold them in place and stops them jangling around all over the place. So they're going in too. Here's the completed cupboards and the fit out. You can see I've just added this plastic angle right round, which gets rid of all those sharp edges from where I cut the roof. Plenty of storage for food. And this side, 12-volt TV there. And this is where I'll keep all my clothing and odds and sods. Up in the top here. So I'm very pleased with how this has worked out, and for me it's very neat.